specifies clearly we are living in the dangerous environment. This invisible killer all the time penetrate our bodies. I believe a lot of you have a microwave oven. Next time you turn it on, keep far away. Yeah. If you don't keep far away, I want you to experiment. I do this experiment all the time. I see that. When I do that, I don't know, somehow to me, I don't know to you, to me, this side energy trap immediately. When they turn on this side, on this side, my energy start go to this way only, not this side. I don't know what the frequency there affect my bodies. Yeah. So if as long as keep away, 2-3 meters away, it's weakening. It's fine. Again, I don't know how many use a microwave oven heavily because according to a lot of report today, microwave oven, they kill the enzyme inside. So kill the nutrition. Number 5, okay, you can think of. Give you a hint again. When we turn to 16, you're more energized. Yeah. When the full moon, you're more energized. But it's not the nature. These are related to another things Chinese call original essence. And what's this original essence? All right, let's try to see that. In Chinese say original essence resides in the kidneys. Okay, now first thing let's try to see how Chinese define kidneys. Yeah. Because to the Western kidney, that's mean here, that's 2 kidneys. But Chinese call this one called internal kidneys. The where's the external kidneys? Actually, your testicles and your ovaries. This one is called external kidneys. Okay, now original essence reside in the kidneys. Eventually, what they talk about? They talk about the hormones because they talk about glands. So let me talk about glands, original essence. Okay, now in this case, what the hormone do to you? What this one do to you? The body has 7 glands produce hormones. What the hormone to do to you? Remember, 1990s, scientists announced through the hormones therapists, human being can live 120 to 150 years old easily. Now, the FDA already legalized melatonin, you already know. DHEA, you already know. You can buy in the CVS, the drugstore. But now, FDA also legalized for injection of human growth hormones. Because from the 1990 until now, already 14 years, all they prove is positive. Some negative, that's because some people abusing it. That means they believe. Of course, long-term side effect, nobody knows. Because usually the science development, it takes 50 years, 100 years, then you know. Questions. If you are 90 already, can you wait for another 100 years? That's why you have to step in and try that, because there's the last possibility. But so far, a lot of good results coming on. That's why the FDA, they legalize it. He said, to me, it's amazing. In the Chinese ancient document, they say, original essence is in the body, cannot be obtained from outside. Today, every time I go to CVS to buy melatonin, I laugh. By DHEA, I laugh. Because I can pay only $6, I can buy a whole bottle of the hormones. But Chinese ancient time say you cannot get it from outside. Today you can get it. Of course, don't abuse it. If those people you want to understand more about the hormone therapies for longevities, the first book I encourage you to read called Grow Young with HGH. HGH, it represents human growth hormones. Okay, think about that, all right? Now, let's try to see why hormone can extend your life. Let's try to see what's the function of hormones. What's hormone do to you? Why do we need hormones? Okay, now you can see hormones regulate the body's metabolism. Okay, I put the other words. Hormone expedites body's biochemical reactions. The other words, hormones is catalyst. I wonder in high school you did an experiment. You have a compound, you have chemical A plus chemical B, put them together, and after chemical reaction becomes C and D. Without catalyst, it takes many days. Now you put the catalyst inside, it takes a few minutes, the reaction completed. In the body, hormone is a catalyst. It's amazing. When this hormone level is high, the body metabolism smoothly happening. That's why your body maintain young. But unfortunately, when we get older and older, this hormone production level going down. So one of the ancient Chinese way to maintain, to extend the body's longevity, you talk about original essence. That's what I talk about. Massage ovary, massage testicles, and those kidneys, and through the concentration in the center from embryonic breeding to enhance the production of a growth hormone in pituitary gland, and also DHEA, and now in the melatonin in pineal glands. So that's very important for you to understand this concept. So that's become very important longevity therapies today. So those people interested, please read about it. So that means when the original essence is higher, the qi circulation, qi production quantity increased. So this one become a big subject of a Qigong. Okay, there one more. Last one, I want you to think. It's too obvious. That's why people ignore. What's the most popular practice today? You think about it. Before they call alternative medicine, but now they changed to call complementary medicine. Yeah. There's a joke. The joke is, I think it's 1992. I was invited to have a speech about Qigong to the Western doctors, about 200 Western doctors. Inside they say Chinese medicine or Qigong or acupuncture is called alternative medicine. They call themselves traditional medicine. When I stand there, I was joking. I say, you guys very funny. You talk about Chinese medicine, alternative medicine. We have 4,000 years of history. It's called traditional medicine. Your medicine is only 200 years. You're supposed to call alternative medicine. Amazing. A lot of them agree. So that's a joke. But again, you should understand, that's why now they change called complementary medicine. It's actually, that's the right words, because the Western medical science and Chinese or Oriental medical science, they can cooperate each other, can complement with each other. Yeah. You call alternative medicine, that's almost like it downgrade its importance. So this one, now you can see, what's that? You can see acupuncture. And massage. And the process, many things develop, artificial stimulation of the qi circulation. This one includes today, they plug in on the cavities, outside electricity to influence internal energy circulation from outside. Again, this all because now more and more people discover more way, more technique to influence the body structure now. Okay? Now you look at the Qigong is so simple. Maybe you can find some other things, but most of the things probably here. Talk about exercise, talk about mind, talk about food and air, herb, talk about nature, and talk about original essence, hormone, talk about acupuncture, massage, those things. Once you understand, that's simple for you to understand. There's another way to look at what's the definition of a Qigong. Okay, from this way, probably a lot of you can see different point of view, how I discovered to interpret it. For example, think, when we inhale, we're taking oxygen. When we exhale, it's carbon dioxide. You already know this one from glucose, plus 6 oxygen, becomes 6 water, and plus 6 carbon dioxide. Remember, release 686 kilocalorie. Okay? But now you can see that's an oxygen divide, this is oxygen. This is the main thing, main production of carbon dioxide. But this is not the whole thing, you should remember. Remember, body cells constantly die. Every second there are millions of cells die, remember. Every 24 hours, there are 1 trillion cells dies. Question, when the cell died, it's a material in the body. Where did they go? That's why the cell, through the exhalation, the dead cell coming out as well. According to what I know, it's just then mixed with the saliva. Eventually, you swallow it. Okay, so from here you can see, eventually this kind of process also takes place because of cell replacement. So the whole concept of Qigong is, how do I replace the old cell with a new cell smoothly? That's become longevity. That become, how do I maintain my body's function healthily? That's become Qigong. So in order to do that, what are you concerned? Of course, you have concern is oxygen. You have the concern, how do I get the Qi exchange and then try to produce carbon dioxide smoothly? And how do I take it out through the right exhalations? Okay, and from here, I want you to take a look carefully. Okay, I'm not a good drawer, but at least you can see the point. Okay, these are bones, this is skin surface. Because remember, everything is a cell replacement. All right, now, roughly you can see, generally speaking, the artery is near the bones. And where's the vein? Vein is closer to the surface of skin, generally speaking. It doesn't mean this side don't have vein, this side don't have artery. But generally speaking, toward this side is more artery, this side is more vein. Right? This comes from the heart. So this one have what? Oxygen. This one go back to the heart. So this one is carbon dioxide. From here you can see how the cell replace. The cell replace from what? Inside out. The question, how do I make this happen so the cell replacement can smoothly happen? Remember, every time I tense up, oxygen consumption increased. So that means the more tense I have, that means the more I deplete the oxygen before even reach the skin. But you need to exercise, you need to tense up muscle in order to develop the muscles. But at the same time, you have to learn how to relax the muscle, allow the qi to reach the skin. So that's a very important part of Chinese Qigong. That's why, how do you breathe all the way to the bone marrows? How do you breathe all the way to the surface of the skin? So that's because cell replacements. So that's how important the relaxation, the body position, your thinking, everything, because you cannot tense up. When you think, that's why you tense up emotionally. So that's one way to look at that, how the Qigong do. It try to improve or try to make the cell replacement smoothly happen. Inside this one, of course, the most important part is what? Is hormones, because it's biochemical reactions. Biochemical reaction, that's the entire body is under this kind of called metabolism. I want you to recognize another thing because there's the end of this lesson. So there are a few points I want to point out. Okay, the first one, Chinese talk about mind and the qi and the body. From the Western point of view, you talk about mind and the body. Because today it's become a big subject, talk about mind and body. How the mind and body between connected, we call nerve system. So this is Western and Chinese. People say, oh, there are two things. No, there's the same thing. Because nerves is the electric fiber. When the qi is abundant, nerves are more sensitive. When the qi is weakened, that means nerves not as sensitive. So what do we talk about sensitive? Or what all they talk about? They talk about what? Feeling. All this talk about feeling. The more qi I have, the more my nerve sensitive. That means feeling increased. So they talk about same thing. One is from energy point of view, the other from physical structure point of view. Okay, so remember this one, it's important. Chinese emphasize this one a lot. It's only Western society, they ignore this feeling, they focus on the nerves, that's all. Okay, there's one point I want to point out. Another point I want to point out, the body. Chinese talk about yin and yang. This one very often people confuse with the kan and li. Kan is in the 8 trigrams. Kan is mean water. Li is mean fire. These two not the same thing. People can get confused. Yin yang is a result, is consequence. Kan and Li is a method. Okay, for example, your heart beat faster, you're excited, your body is young. I start inhale deeply and then relax, then I add more water. So the inhale deeply, I cool the body down, then this is kan. Then the body become yin. So remember this technique. Okay, I want you to think carefully because later we're going to discuss about in the second lesson or third lesson talk about breathing. But I want you to think it now. Every time you're excited, you exhale longer than inhale. For example, you laugh. Watch people, they laugh. They say, ha, 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 ha. When people, they are sad. Watch they cry, they go, they inhale longer than exhale. So that's when everything you inhale longer than exhale, the energy go to the center. Every time you exhale longer than inhale, energy go out, away from center. So from here you can see the breathing become very important part of a kan and Li because it change the body status. So that's the reason the breathing in the Qigong consider is strategies. Make things happen. Okay. So this is a method. For example, if this cup of water is too hot, it's young. Then I add more cold water. This process called kan. Then now water become cooler. So don't get confused for that one. It's very easy for a lot of people get confused. Kan and Li, yin and yang, is not the same thing. They are related, but not the same thing. Next concept. Because all these concepts I have to explain now, so later we don't have to kill too much time for that. Chinese talk about 3 treasures. 3 treasures, the first one is called Jing, essence. The second one is the Qi. The third one is Shen, spirit. Chinese call this called 3 treasures. 3 most precious things. Of course, the essence is hormones. The second one is Qi. The third one is the spirit. So the Chinese talk about convert your original essence into Qi. From the Qi, you nourish your spirit. When this thing happens, the body energy is strong. Okay? But now, this is statement, I will redefine it later in the second lessons. Because this essence convert into Qi is a little bit inaccurate now. Because the essence is original, is what? Hormones. Hormone does not convert. Hormones expedites the biochemical reaction, but itself does not convert. So because the reason, again, in ancient time, they didn't know that. Okay, so we're going to talk about that in the second lesson. So these are 3 treasures. It's very important. Chinese consider it's a very important part of the body. You know, if you learn how to take it preciously, then you'll live for a long time. You'll be healthy. Finally, there's another concept. They call 5 Qi towards its origin. 5 Qi. What do you mean 5 Qi? 5, that means 5 internal organs. That includes the heart, includes the lung, kidneys, liver, and the spleen. To Chinese, these 5 internal organs is crucial. When these 5 internal organs healthy and strong, your body is strong and healthy. So 5 Qi toward its origin called 5 Qi Cao Yuan. Yeah, because this terminology also happened often in ancient documents. 5 Qi towards origin. That's origin. Origin, that means what? That means the right levels. The adequate, proper levels of the Qi. That means if you can regulate all these 5 Qi to its healthy, normal states, you'll be healthy. Whenever the Qi is abnormal in these 5 organs, the organ will be sickened. Okay. Finally, I want to invite all of you in this first lesson to feel what is Qi. In order to do that, you have to build up the Qi to the higher potential difference. To build this potential difference, that means you have to build qi in the higher levels. After that, allow the qi to circulate. Okay, one of the Tai Chi Chuan position is this position. They call three power position because they talk about heaven, human, and earth qi circulation. When you stand in this position, the arm is this way, like you're hugging a baby or hugging a trees. When you do that, the energy trap inside, because the arm open, the qi expand. When the arm go this way, energy start wrap. Because that's a human nature. That's why you hold it to yourself. So because the reason this position become not only just mentally, physically, it actually trap the qi into this column. So from there, you inhale through the Bai Hui in the crowns, go to Dantian, go to the leg. So that's why it's called three power qi circulations. But in Tai Chi Chuan, they add another circle. From there, they lead the qi out to the arms and coming back, and they combine with heaven, human, earth qi. So that's why they use the nature qi to nourish the body. But of course, that's why we explain more in the Tai Chi Qigong. But I'm going to use this position for you to think. In this kind of position, when I stand this way, that means if I stand left leg forward, which side of my back muscle is more tense? Right hand side. So that's why on purpose I build the potential difference on the back, because right hand side is more tense. Start build potential difference. Left side is more relaxed. Once you build the potential difference, the energy start spiral upwards through the spinal. Okay. Then not only that, arm here, because the tension to lift the arms. So these two areas is more tense. When it's more tense, that means the qi gets stagnant here and build higher potential there. Okay, we're going to ask you to do these forms, each side for 3 minutes without moving your arms. The leg you have to change after 3 minutes. Okay, I want you to practice that. After that, then following that, you need a partner. Try to feel the qi by yourself.